Here we go, Charmaine. Gonna throw
Hello.
some shade your way. There you go, Charmaine.
I'm going to
Hello.
catch it and throw it
Oh,
back at you. Yeah.
Ian. Ian wants to be part of the crew today.
Yeah,
Ian,
I'm just
sit
gonna be
down, take a chair.
I'm gonna be headless.
What
Okay,
did he
bye.
say? No,
It's going to be headless.
he's gonna be. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the live. Today is a total YOLO live. There was no plan on anything we were going to talk about. It's just going to be YOLO. Of course. So of course, always nice to do a live with Charmaine and you guys. Ben, thank you for gifting those memberships. It's a criming shame. Thank you for gifting those memberships from YouTube, and thank you guys for being here with us today. How's Charmaine's day going? You're
I
muted,
hate that
by
I
the
can
way.
never find my unmute button.
Oh,
My day is going good. I had, you know, I did. I work from home, and usually I can work for a few hours in the mornings and be good. And the last 2 days, the amount of work, and it's been taken so long. I literally just finished like an hour ago because I had to take time to go pick Ian up again, and I got home. And then between that, doing this, getting supper ready, just sat down 30 seconds or I guess about 3 minutes before we went live. So as per
so you,
usual, Charmaine is running behind. But yeah.
so you never got to eat dinner yet?
No, well, I won't be eating that per se. It's for Ian, but all
Does he
good.
have to work? Does he have to? Is he at home today?
Yeah,
Like
he
the
is.
rest
He
of it?
took his last truck to Golden, where he's going to be going to work for 3 weeks. He did that this morning, and I went and picked him up. And tomorrow he leaves for 3 weeks. So no more guest
Oh,
appearances for a little bit.
but at least he'll be back when I come visit.
Yes, he will
Because
be.
I got two more weeks basically. Yeah,
Hmm.
like leaving on
Yeah.
the second. Like I said,
And
it's actually. Go ahead.
when do you think you're going to be coming around here?
I'm thinking somewhere between like the 13th, 14th, 15th area. I'm
Perfect.
thinking I just got to see exactly what my sister, because like I said, it's so my twins' birthday's on the 3rd. Then Haley's having her baby. That's my twin sister's second daughter, Haley. I noticed on Facebook the other day she was holding keys to her new home. She married Gurpreet, I think is Gurkit. I don't know,
Gurpreet,
something
I
like.
think you told me his name before, Gurpreet.
I think it's Gurkit though, or something. Whatever. I always get it shit wrong anyway. But anyways, so she's gonna be due about the 7th, 8th, or 9th, and mine and Steve's wedding anniversary is July 11th. And then
Mhm.
Haley's birthday, the one that's having the baby, hers birthday's June 15th. But I mean, she can suck it if I'm not there for that one because,
Mhm.
we'll be there visiting anyway. So, so that's why I'm kind of thinking that way. And Steve's birthday is on Monday, so chances are I won't do a live. So I was like, honey, you want to do a live with me on Monday? He's like, no.
Not
He's like,
really.
and I said, okay, I guess I won't do. And then he's like, he goes, yeah, I'm not doing one on my birthday. I'm like, fine. Because it depends what he's doing, because he just likes to chill, really, game, pretty
Yeah.
much do nothing besides doing what he does anyway, type of thing.
Mhm.
So yeah, so always for me it's a lot. Ryan's was his brother. His was on the 12th of June, but my husband fell right on that cusp because June 21st is the longest day that the sun is out. If
Yeah.
anyone didn't know that, I think what do they call it? Solstice or something like that.
Yeah. First day of summer. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah.
so yeah, and I got my I'm gonna I got the envelope for Cheryl for you, so I can't forget that. And then
Can't wait.
I'm gonna color these, right? I bought 3 sets of these at the
Aw,
dollar store, Dollar Tree.
nice.
Ain't no Dollar Tree no more, I'm telling you that much. But it's still better than Dollarama, I suppose. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I'm just gonna I bought some like permanent markers on there. So I'm gonna make you a set. And then you can
Aw,
put it right there behind it.
awesome. Okay.
on there. Yeah, and everything. So, um, one second here. Say hi to everyone from both Charmaine's channel and this channel. Thank you guys for being here. I still have my 5 hour subscription thing. I do that each time, Charmaine, because I'm just letting the people that are subscribed be able to talk. Whereas in Charmaine's, I'm not sure what hers is at. Maybe it's at 0 or 5 minutes. Not really sure. But anyways, and I just do that because I just think for me it's like I don't want like trolley people coming in, chatting out, taking up all the space in the chat group and or the chat there when
Mhm.
people actually subscribe and become, not that they're members, but they're subscribed to there. So, you know what? Let me ask you something before we get talking about, say, Jack and Lily and whatever, YOLO. Darius case. Um, so you're going to be meeting up with the family when in
Trying to make a plan right now. So I'm going to be in Lethbridge on Tuesday and I'm going to hang out there until Thursday evening. Um, they all work, and the lady that I'm talking to, she works two jobs. So I mean, I even said like I'll go to you on a coffee break or whatever, but we will work it out. I'm not 100% sure which day, but I will be in Lethbridge waiting basically for the opportunity to sit down and talk to them. Yeah.
yeah,
And then Wolfie is going on the search. There's another search on the 23rd, which I believe is Tuesday. So he's going to go and participate in that, and he's going to do uh, a video call with her so she can guide him to exactly where the campsite was and what waterfall was closest, and where the kids went for their walk and stuff. So hopefully, hopefully by the end of it all next week, we'll know better what happened and we'll have more information to share. It'll be good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, question for you, Charmaine. Only because, um, like, only recently did I see you start covering it. Did you cover it at all when it was happening?
I did. And the reason that I stopped, because when you first started watching the coverage, like on the mainstream media, and
Yeah,
if you were like, I was in the Facebook group, and so I would read stuff from the family in the Facebook group, and then I would watch the media coverage, and I couldn't pin down what exactly happened. There was one story said that he was on a walk with two cousins, and then I heard eight children, and there were just little things that I couldn't get straight, but there was no other information coming out. And then you start seeing all the drama and the accusations and stuff, and I'm just like, whoa. So I was talking to a very close friend of Darius's mom who had planned on coming up, but then she ghosted me. And then I was talking to Darius's auntie, and I don't think that she purposely ghosted me. It was just they started getting really shy about the idea of going onto YouTube. And so we just kind of lost
mm,
contact, and I moved on from it. I always kept tabs on the Facebook groups, but then more groups started coming up, and it just became just this toxic, no different than the Jack and Lily stuff. Not to the level of
right.
Jack and
Yeah,
Lily's yet, but I mean, he went missing September 21st, so like, give it time. If we don't do something about that drama, it'll end up just like Jack and Lily's without YouTube involved, because they just won't do it. They're
right.
they're willing now to talk off camera, which is
Mm,
a start, you know. But
right.
like I showed the other day, they had a GoFundMe for um like search and rescue to uh to to buy equipment and to fund searches and stuff so the family could um I guess organize their own search parties. And their goal was $2,000, and we're talking like the last donation was made 5 months ago, and they're still only at $400. So my point
Oh,
was like, look at what Sunny was able to do with Belinda in one live stream. And
two.
you know what I'm
Well, one, but
saying?
yeah,
Like you yeah, you do have
doubled
to
it
be
up.
careful when you go onto YouTube. You don't want the mass coverage, but if you choose the right platform and kind of try to the best you can shut everything else out, it can help. But I mean, I look at, and they are watching Jack and Lily's coverage sometimes off and on, but they see what's going on, and you know what I mean? Like they don't want any part of it.
You
So,
know, yeah, you know, that's what's hard. I think about Dylan Rounds and his mom, and she went on. Didn't matter. She went on every freaking platform um, to bring out just wanting to fight to find justice for her son, her and her, we'll say, ex-husband, and that they came together um, to work together to find answers. So, I mean, it's unfortunately it's the territory of the beast when it comes to the true crime. It's so much different than the regular media. The media is the media is never going to report how true crime reports that way. Everything is just going to be, you know, in a I want to say more like just with the middle of the ground type of information and stuff, which I think is great. True crime is a whole new ball of wax there. We'll pretty much talk about everything and anything and stuff like that, the good with the bad.
yeah, but I mean, we've talked about it before, Sunny, where the ability for us to get the word out far and
It's,
wide
it's
in a
just like
matter
that.
of minutes, like instantaneously. So if, and that's why I said a couple of years ago, if law
Yeah.
enforcement, I don't care what country you're talking about, but if law enforcement can figure out a way to harness the true crime community on YouTube,
Yeah.
and use it as a tool to get information out that they want out instead of leaving
Yeah.
everybody in the dark, and that to me is what helps create this beast that we're seeing now in Jack and Lily's coverage, and scaring other people away from it, because there were other cases of people, missing people, who, you know, their families desperately wanted help, but they were so scared away from YouTube that,
Yeah.
you know, they're basically stuck to what mainstream media was willing to do for them, or what people were saying on Facebook,
I
which is a
know
dumb.
it's like a catch 22 because what the community can do, like you said, we've talked about, can we can put out something in a second, and it, you know, when people catch on to it and stuff like that, you know, but pretty much with any case, but especially the high profile ones, um, that's going to bring in, a lot of wing nuts with it. Um, good channels that necessarily, like, depends how what people deem what they watch, I suppose, but it it is a good way to keep a story out there. Maybe they'll see it differently at some point, maybe not, you know. And
Well,
yes,
it's like I was trying to explain to Rob Wolfie, let's you know, tread lightly, and you
mm,
don't you don't accuse the family. You want to get them talking, you want to keep them talking, and you have to build trust to do that, and then keep the trust once you have it, no matter what you might think privately. That's not for us to, you know, put out to the masses in a case like that, where this boy has been missing since September, and not even the mainstream media are on it. So that's why,
mhm,
you know, emailing the Globe and Mail or something, and just posing the question, like, why is there not the attention or the interest in, you know, obtaining any kind of judicial authorizations or anything like they did with Jack and Lily? Like, where's the movement to get something happening with Darius's case? Is it because they don't think anything nefarious happened, and they truly believe that he wandered away and maybe slipped into a waterway or something? Do they really think that? But then the RCMP could come out and say that. So same thing. I'm still at a loss. You know, tell us
yeah,
why nobody is looking for Darius, other than, you know, volunteer searchers will go out and kind of pound the same terrain as they have many, many times before. But give us an update so that we know if we're wasting our time or if we need to get his face out there further in water, because the family, from what I understand, believes that he was abducted. So,
Yes,
you know,
that what they're, you know, um, basically going off of. Is that's what their gut feeling is for them?
yeah, well, the family that was out there, and make no mistake, it wasn't just one group, like one family. They're all from Lethbridge. No, it was from all over the province. They all came down to this campground to celebrate a number of different birthdays, or
Mm,
that fall around the same time. They chose this weekend to do it last year, and some of them left Saturday after the birthday party, and others hung out till Sunday. But it was a bunch of different branches of this family that came down to celebrate together. And I mean, there's a lot more to the story than what the mainstream media has reported. And like I said, we're working on getting more information so that we can have a good conversation about
yeah.
Darius, and hopefully spread it a little bit more.
Did
And
you end
I
up?
wanted to say thank you real quick to Sarah, that last on my community page, and Sarah posted it in here, she probably will again, but Darius's law, it's not specific to Darius McDougall or missing children, generalized. This is Amber Alert reform. It's huge. So there is a petition. You can go and sign it with the link that Sarah posted, or you can find it on my community page as well. Sorry, Sunny, go ahead.
Did she post it in your channel or something? Because
Yeah,
we
she
don't.
posted it. She posted the link in here somewhere, but I mean, she'll do it again and I'll put it up, but then go, just if you don't see it, just go to my community and you can get it there. It's called the Darius's Law, but it's Amber Alert reform. So
Right. Oh, okay. Now, did you by chance email that email from that email I gave you?
not yet. I want to wait until after I talk to the family,
Yeah.
so I can
Yeah.
get a little bit more insight of what's going on, because I'm sure that they've had contact with the RCMP. If they haven't, then gloves are off. All bets are off. I'll start making some noise. But like I said,
Right.
like I'm telling Wolfie to tread lightly, so I need to check myself and tread lightly as well. So I don't want to overstep any boundaries.
Mhm. Yeah. Right. Well, good on you guys. Like I said, I mean, there's tons of cases out there. Um, Now, Jack and Lily's case, I know that we don't like to think of it in a different aspect, but you know, it's two children, so that's where the spotlight has been for the case and why it took off and why people are covering it around the world. Because it's such a mysterious case, not that Darius isn't either, but whenever a case hits social media, right? Whenever there's especially an oddity to it, and even more so oddity, then they just seem to, get picked up by the news. Like I said, I remember with this case, Jack and Lily, it was, you know, Grizzly True Crime was covering it. People in the States everywhere were covering it. Well, pretty much around the world. And even to this day, I still see a lot of, like, say, tarot card readers and that, constantly doing videos and stuff on it. Whereas, say, Darius' case for me, I remember it, but that's all I did was I remembered it when you said, or when I went to go look about the case. I was like, oh right, that's that little boy. But to be honest with you, Charmaine, I had forgotten about it. Like so many cases, you
Yeah,
know,
because it's nowhere in the media ever. Like
right.
when was it? They did the first search of the spring this year, because obviously they couldn't search through the winter. There was like a 40-second news thing on it, and that's it. Other than what the family's been doing on Facebook, that's it. But uh,
Mm,
but look at Sebastian Rogers. You were
yeah.
one of the first, and
We were the first,
yeah,
actually. Yeah.
and that case, it didn't take off. It's not to the level of Jack and Lily, I think, and considering it's, from the United States. But just having it on your channel, so many
Um,
other content creators picked it up to the point
yeah.
where it's still being talked about, you
I,
know.
I was going to say with Sebastian Rogers, what happened there was is that um, Adam had sent me it from because he had seen it on TikTok, and so then we covered it, I believe, with a live with Elijah Vu, to bring it up, and then so like it gradually started taking off. Now my thing is never to be selfish about content, and that hence why people can use the content from this channel, just try to like I said, use it in a good way, not for a bad way. And I remember sharing it out on my Twitter, to the bigger channels, because you want the bigger channels to pick up the cases and stuff like that, because their reach is far and greater than this little channel. And so yeah, and so now this case I'll say is more absurd because of the two children, but Sebastian Rogers many times, multiple times, has reached a case of a circus and absurdity. um they're almost comparable, to be honest, Charmaine, in how and what and everything that people did in the wars between channels and the nastiness and stuff like that. But Sebastian Rogers' case is absolutely still covered. This one, Sebastian Rogers, he disappeared in February 25th, was the last actual sighting of 2024. So his is now over 2 years, but there's still some good coverage by channels and people that still are on the Sebastian Rogers, just like we were on Delphi A for so long and stuff like that. And that was like 7 years. I know you're still looking at it. I haven't been at all, because I was fine with what had happened with the answers, who was responsible and stuff like that. Or did you
Yeah,
give
well,
5 years? But
the only reason why I'm still looking into it is because after, I got hung up on, the due process and the appeal that I knew was going to come, and now we're sitting here at waiting for oral arguments, and that's kind of my bag. That's kind of where what interests me is the court stuff. So
you're right.
that's why I'm still. It's not that I think that he's innocent. Don't listen right now, Gren. But
Yeah.
I do think that his rights were violated. So unfortunately, but I
Yeah.
mean, I was screaming it from the rooftops. I wouldn't shut up about it. I wouldn't shut up about it when it was going on. So
Hmm.
it's what it
Well, I was going to
is.
say, now Ernestine brings up, and Charmaine gifted out 5 memberships from her channel as well there. She doesn't have the Rickroll music that goes off 5 times for mine. So whoever got those from her channel, make sure you say thank you, of course, to, I don't know, YouTube, Charmaine? Good old YouTube. I like the fact that they do stuff like that, though. You know,
Yeah, it is. It's
give
nice
us,
to give back.
yeah. Now, going back to Ernestine, Summer Wells' case, how would you compare Jack and Lily's case to Summer Wells' case? Or would you?
I mean, there are definitely parallels for sure. You can't get a straight story out of the family, but it took it took quite some time for the family to disappear and stop talking. We didn't see that with Jack and Lily's case, so just vanished without a trace. Um, it's There are similarities for sure. There are. But
Yeah.
I still say that I know that we also talk about, like, this is just, the way true crime goes, but I haven't seen the bullshit in a true crime case to this level And it might just be because in my head I'm thinking it's Canadian. We don't behave this way.
For
But here we
Canadian.
are,
Yeah.
blowing my mind on the daily,
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
For Canadian, for sure. Right. Um, if you mix American in there, it kind of falls in realm with a lot of some of these cases, like Summerwell, Sebastian Rogers. But for a Canadian, for two children to be unheard of, first of all, um, the problem, like, there's a huge difference between like 37 million people to like, 350 million people or whatever it is in the United States over there. It's pretty close to that somewhere. But yeah,
yeah,
huge difference. Obviously, there's more crime that's going to be happening there all day long, and that's the sadness about it. So for Darius, for Summer Wells, for Jack and Lily, for Harmony Montgomery, freaking the dad's, murder conviction was overturned there. He still has to spend 30 years. I saw that like last week, and I was like, oh, mm, mm,
yeah.
mm. You know,
Yeah,
I can
we talked about
understand.
that because it was not just Adam Montgomery
Yeah,
had
that's his
his
name. Thank you.
conviction overturned. Fucking Letitia Stock had her
Right.
conviction overturned.
Was hers
Um,
too?
yeah, she's getting a new trial too, Sonny,
Oh, okay. Fucking
because of biased juror.
yeah.
Crazy,
Kind of like
crazy.
what's his name? What's his name?
Alec
Murdoch.
Murdaugh. Yeah,
Alec Murdoch.
him too. And the
Yeah.
next one, I think, is going to be Richard Allen. He's going to get a new trial. It's unfortunate and it
He
pisses me
probably
off.
will. He probably will. It won't shock me. I don't see a different result, but you know, I'm just one of those ones is that, like I said, I'm not into those courty documents like you are that way, for sure. Doesn't interest, like, meaning certain, like the court documents or the documents that came out for Jack and Lily's case, those type of ones interest me, or the ones in Delphi, where we got to see the affidavits or whatever they're called, I think. But anyways, but as for like when um Travis and stuff, like that stuff's like out of my element, not of my brain cells. When you have like he's a
Yeah.
defense lawyer out of Texas and stuff, whereas I know that that's more your cup of tea. For me, it's like hurt my brain, hurt my brain, hurt my brain.
I
You know,
remember I remember you and I, we tried to go through the Stephen Stearns
oh,
probable
Stephen
cause
Stearns,
affidavit, and that was
yeah,
painful. So it,
yeah,
it really depends on the court documents. Like I'll read them all and they're fascinating to me, but um, you know, to decide what to cover on YouTube and what to follow on YouTube, this isn't just a, oh my gosh, breaking news, we better cover it for clicks and views. That's not it. You really have to really check yourself and make sure that you're morally okay with sharing certain information.
right.
Yeah, I did. I watched Bob and Ali go over that. I mean, they're not wrong.
Did they? I think
So
they probably did. They do that recently or something, or
yeah, the day I think
with that
yeah, it was the day that it was announced that everybody was on it that afternoon, and I think even like my live
was.
stream that day was about that because again, it was just like I wanted to talk about Letitia getting overturned, and then it just
Jeez.
slipped my mind because she's such a piece of shit. But then when Adam Montgomery's got overturned,
One
I
sec.
was like, "What?
I
How the
know what the
hell?
heck's going on.
Yeah, what is happening in the states right now?" And then you
I
start to watch and worry about the shit that goes on in this case with the star witnesses and stuff and leaking information and I I'm sorry, I get paranoid. I really do.
Mhm. With what was I gonna say? Yeah, oh my god, I hate even talking about that piece of shit case, the freaking Watts case. That's just so unbelievable. That that ugh, hate saying his name even. Um, just what he did over the sake of ugh, forget it. I'm not going to talk about it. Can't stand that case. Can't stand talking about him. Yeah, it was when you're watching like Barry Morphew and that. it's like watching people with their little smirks on, and they're sitting there trying to, I just want them to come home and let me just, and you just watch the fakeness of it all, when they're speaking, and it's just like, who are you trying to kid, you fucking liars, but my point gonna be that to anyone that doesn't have answers and does, like in this case of Jack and Lily, Darius case, Harmony Montgomery, all those, the poor children, that are all of the missing and the murdered and stuff like that. My heart goes out to any family member that is impacted in that type of situation the most, to be honest, because again, you put your heart and your thoughts in how they must be feeling to wake up like every day. For me, for Belinda, the thought of her waking up every day being so past the point of exhaustion, it's, and just fighting for the answers. And some people never receive those answers, in cases and stuff like that, like meaning like the old cases and stuff, or even say maybe more current ones that might go that way. Actually, Charmaine, quickly, the survey, I'm just going to close this 1 second. The survey today was simply, do you think Jack and Lily's, this case, will bring answers this year? 27%. The case will go cold forever, 13%. Will be solved, but in years to come, 24%. And of course, 36% is hopeful in the next few months. Where do you just where do you personally see, um if you just were guessing at it, taking, you know,
Uh,
like I
I
know
I
we're hopeful
I want to be
soon.
hopeful for the next few months. I don't see this, but there's a piece of me that thinks that this is going to go unsolved. Um, but I'm hopeful in the next few months. The little tiny bit of me in my gut just thinks this might not we might not get answers. But
Sebastian Rogers case, I thought was going to be solved within the first week. This case, I thought was going to be, answers for Jack and Lily almost, within a very short period of time. After a couple, after like at least 2 days go by, then you're on the worrying side going, ache. Um, because then that you're kind of, you know, thinking that something definitely nefarious typically would have happened. And then, so I thought, like, I still figured though that if there was involvement of some kind, that the answers were going to come. But here I sit, basically eating my words to myself because I thought Sebastian Rogers was going to fall along those same lines. And here we are, pretty much 2.5 years coming up later, for Sebastian Rogers. And that's kind of where I feel like at this case is that if we don't get something in the next few months, then I see it being possibly years before maybe something breaks. And I hate to think that, but I mean, it's anyone's guess, to be honest with you. But I hate thinking that would take that long. I just figured in this case that it was going to be kind of going to be simple to figure out what happened, and that was because I was thinking of the oddity and, you know, thinking, wasn't really at the time thinking about the lack of, say, perhaps the digital data and the ruralness of the area and stuff like that, whereas me, that's kind of where I sit with this case, is that they just lack any of the proof in a sense that could bring it to. I feel you should even think that they know. Like I do feel like they know, but
well, I think that they have a good
good
idea,
idea. Yeah.
but just lacking the proof. And have you ever, and I keep meaning to do this and I haven't, but there are probably like a lot of people, and we won't just pigeonhole kids here, but a lot of people in Canada who go missing are found relatively quickly. But the ones that aren't, I think a lot of those cases are cold. I really do.
Yeah.
I hope there's some kind of stats out there for that. But
Oh,
I,
they're for sure.
yeah.
AI, Charmaine. Now you made me lose my thought on question I was just about to say about that. What was I gonna say? I don't know. my Ernestine says my fear is that they are never going to find the children. I am hopeful that after Daniel's case, that something will crack. You know, I'm I'm just a person that when I follow cases, I just really see what happens, right? Just like if there's postponements and stuff like that, those are very typical in cases and then back and forth, you know. But I know that you have to trust the process um along the way, because trusting the process is the people that are going to give us the answers, hopefully at some point. And you have to try to believe that, like I said, that sometimes they already have the answers, but they just necessarily in cases don't have the evidence. And the justice system kind of pisses me off just because of all the
Oh,
bullshit. Hey.
oh, me too. Like the Canadian justice system, terrible.
Right. Yeah. um right now I'm kind of like uh, how do you feel about Jack and Lily's case at this point? For when I say that, Charmaine, I'm talking about before, there was the lull, then we got documents out, then we got some more unredacted documents out. Now it's just like what about these people that are piping like Anitas of the world that are now trying to chime in, and it's like, well, I mean, I get it, if someone says, well, I wasn't ready then, but now I am, you know. I mean, Darren did start a lot of drama, which created a bunch of people to start talking. I'll give him that,
Mhm.
you know. But it's kind of like you can tell we're all just going back to things, you know. Now, I did show those some, things from Taylor and Justin Sundance Smith there the other night, which was, you know, ones that I didn't show. It's not that I couldn't have shown them, I just didn't share them. Um, I wasn't at the time and stuff like that, but things about what she said about Daniel. Now I still haven't messaged her to ask her about, if she's supporting Daniel in that case coming up or whatever she was doing, you know. I still haven't messaged her on that. But regardless, to me, she said what she said with regards to Jack and Lily's case and Daniel and, you know, how she felt about him, basically a narcissist all rolled up in a bad person, and stuff like that. With Justin, um, well, one of the things that Taylor said was that when they were out in the woods, it's not like he ever said anything about searching for Jack and Lily and stuff like that. And that he had asked her to meet her near the waterfall, near the Bay of Fundy or something like that, but she didn't want to go. And then Justin, it was when Justin said, so what do you actually, what do you think about that? When Justin said, um, like, Sonny, did like basically, did you know that the car went missing the next day? And I was like, no, no
It's
idea.
been a while since I read those. Like I know
Like, I probably
when you first
showed you
have,
them. Yeah, I know I would
yeah,
have.
yeah, like last year, but like, and I didn't, if you're talking about your live stream yesterday, I didn't catch it. So
No, not
I don't,
that one. It was the one before.
I
Yeah.
don't really remember,
It's
but
all good.
I mean, was And not that I don't believe Justin Smith, but was there any kind of proof or corroboration to that? And to me, if somebody is brought in for a polygraph test on a specific topic, that lends some credibility if the RCMP are trying to determine whether or not it's complete bullshit or if it's something that they should look into further. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
Justin's not talking to anybody, so we have no idea what he was asked in his polygraph test. Was he asked
Right.
about the vehicles at 1:30 in the morning or whatever, or was he asked, about a vehicle being missing, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it is interesting, and the timing is interesting. Like why the first batch of polygraph tests, Malaya, Daniel, Cindy, Wade, Janie, and I think that was it for the first round. But then months later, them Haley, Patty, Justin Smith, who else?
Now, now he lawyered up though,
Who did?
Justin Smith.
Justin Smith got a lawyer.
Yeah.
For what?
Don't know.
That's interesting. That's almost as interesting as Anita making she had to choose between hiding behind a defense attorney or going to YouTube. It's quite the choice.
Wait, what was that with Anita? 'Cause I don't really pay
Uh, sh-
attention to that.
she had said that she had said that she had a choice, and I believe it was back in December. She had a choice. She could either hide behind a defense attorney or go talk on YouTube.
Oh. Hmm.
That's crazy, right? Thank you, baby monkey. That's very nice of
I was gonna
you. I
say baby
appreciate
monkey
you.
did one for each of us.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, there's no bias there. Thank you. Yeah. But you know what? Okay, what one thing I was gonna ask, I remembered what I was gonna ask is okay, now we all know where Kent stands on Jack and Lily's case and others as well. But I mean, I'm just gonna ask you, is that I mean, it's not like he's wrong when he says that there's nothing to show that they're not alive, you know, just like there's nothing to show that they're, you know, unalived. There's still nothing to show that they're unalived. And
Okay.
so my thing is this. So it's not like I don't agree that there's things that are really sus about, okay, for instance, this Brandon person coming out and saying that Emily, and we'll start with the recent, Emily and Hayden were basically there, whatever, freaking shirt in the tree and blah, 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 blah. Whatever truth to that is, I don't freaking know. But it leads really to the fact of as if Malaya and her family have contrive something together is the way it portrays to me. I think about when Haley talked about Malaya and Wade and them saying that that's not a person mourning, basically, like, you know, dulling theirself up and going out and, you know, and so I like, so there's lots of these little things as well that bug me about her side. I asked Kent, do you believe when Darren said that Patty said that Malaya said she had a plan. And he said 100%, of course, right? Um, even because there's certain things sometimes you don't understand why people would lie about certain things. So when I look at some of these smaller pieces along the way, I mean, so it's not like I disagree that that things from the Malay side over there haven't looked strange, her actions, but it's mostly about how the family members mostly have perceived her since the children went missing and the lack of what she actually has done, which is what we deem as virtually nothing from her side. You know, her letter says that she's going to keep searching in this, but yet you're searching for a child. You're showing face for a search, like a year or so later. But
So, yeah, so let's brainstorm a little bit, Sunny. Just
sure.
help me understand this. Like, you're not out in the public. You're privately doing your own stuff to
Mm.
help locate the kids. Anybody have any idea what that would entail? Looking for two missing children privately? Do you have any idea? Because I cannot for the life of me think of one thing that would help behind, like, privately.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about going out to the pipeline 11 months in. I'm not talking about delivering water to searchers after a year. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the whole last 11 months before that, since day 2 when she left.
Right.
Just give me some ideas.
Me?
Anybody. Like,
Yeah.
what can you do?
I
Billboards?
know.
Okay. Okay. Billboards. Fair.
Right.
That's a lot of fundraising, but I'm quite sure they're not actually.
You know, but the thing that takes away from this is her own family saying she basically, you know, is acting like she doesn't have two children, that are missing. So I I can get why people can still kind of veer this way because of actions, of lack of actions, of stuff that she's done. Now, which one is more, obviously realistic, is chances are the children are not alive. Sharon Parker. Thank you, Sharon Parker. But I mean, do you remember in her letter she said that she's going to keep searching and that you know uh, basically asking us all to be voices for Jack and Lily, and I'm just like, and what the fuck are you doing? Because
Or why
what
isn't
you
Daniel, he should be focusing more on finding my kids or whatever she said?
Yeah,
Remember
she
that?
said, yeah, so why isn't I thought she was kind of being sarcastic at first, right? And but it was like, yeah, why isn't Daniel, basically out there looking for my children? And I'm like, you fucking like when I read, I was like, you fucking kidding me? And then I thought, well, she being sarcastic or something, but I think that it's true that, like I don't like again, I'm sorry. Just stick a mother. You know how I feel about this. Like I said, I don't give a shit about Malaya's mental health issues, unless, of course, they contributed to this appearance. Well, then maybe that did or something. I don't know. But as for Daniel himself and Malaya for that way, do not give a shit. Just give a shit about Jack and Lily, finding the truth for them. They can deal with their own fucked up issues in life and stuff like that. But bottom line is that like as a mother of the two children, not the stepfather, but a mother, hiding behind things. And sorry, like I said, you've offended me as a mother by those actions myself, how I feel about it, and I got no good
I
words to
agree.
say about Malaya
I,
that way.
I agree. And Belinda says, to my understanding, the billboards didn't cost the family anything. So, next,
Yeah.
privately doing what to help find what happened to Jack and Lily. And
Lyndon.
I'm not saying that she's behind it all, but if they truly think that the kids are out there somewhere, why aren't they looking? So that leads me to believe that they are pretty sure the kids aren't out there missing, and they're pretty sure they know what happened. So why,
Yeah.
why put
Oh,
on
one sec.
the show? And it's the shittiest show ever. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just Pinky there. Coming in late, sorry. Not well, but listening. Well, you know where the naughty corner is. Thanks for the super sticker, super chat. on there. What was the last thing you said, Charmaine? Sorry, the music kind of went.
I don't remember.
It's okay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. My thing is, like I said, I'm not here for the sympathy part of those people. I'm just here for what are you doing to contribute to the efforts for Jack and Lily, and why does it seem like people can make excuses all day long. I just don't give a shit, about that side of it for Malaya. Like I said, everyone has the right to use their social media. It just reminds me of the Barry Morphew case when the daughters didn't even put their own mother. You know how, in cases where they make like a certain, like Belinda there on hers, she has Jack and Lily. I mean, Suzanne Morphew's two teenage daughters couldn't even be asked. Instead, they put themselves little bikinis up their pictures when they could have been using, because, you know, and it's just so ridiculous to me on this one. So, my feelings, you guys know how I feel about this. I don't want to see your face a year later, after all this time has gone by, and then you want to show your face. And what are you doing? You know what? Why are you there? I mean, you believe your kids are alive. So, just go ask your psychic friend. I'm sure that yeah, hopefully you don't have to pay your psychic friend for that freaking advice. But anyway, but it's like, I think I saw somewhere where it said that her psychic friend was wrong about everything. And I was like,
I mean, so far,
but I'm
so far,
just,
and
yeah.
that's it's so I got, and I cannot, don't ask me where I heard it, but I did find out that the psychic the psychic friend is not Shelby.
No, I don't think it
Was
was.
it you that told me that?
No,
I
I
can't
don't think
remember.
so. I don't
Okay.
think it was. Maybe I did at some point. I don't remember.
No, this was
Um,
just recent, like within the last couple of months. Thank you, Pinky. That's very
mhm.
nice. You two are my favorite. Love seeing you guys together again. Aw,
Oh wait,
thank you.
oh, there she is. Ah, there she is. See, no bias either. There. Thank you guys for being here today. So, um, honestly, okay. You know what, Daniel. I mean, he was on your live two times, correct?
3.
Was it three? Okay, so I was
Well,
right. I
there's
was,
the 2. There was the 1 year was the first one,
yeah.
and
And there was
then
two after that, right?
he went to you after, and then after that,
I think he did
um,
two, then mine, and then one for you after that. I think
yeah,
he done,
I can't
yeah.
remember the one that he was. I wasn't planning on doing that with Daniel that day. He was just in chat. It was the one that I was going to call out the RCMP, and he was like, "I can come up and answer questions." And I think he was just trying to defend the RCMP because he knew I was going to go at them. But it wasn't planned, so I didn't keep him on for too long. But yeah, three times.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll bring this up just quickly again. Um, so just because Shar touched on it, and then I touched on it because I seen Shar touch on it. Um, so again, for anyone out there that ever says that I'm throwing shade at Charmaine and stuff like that, because that just reminds me of people at Tattletale. So I do want to say that one more time. I work, not that Charmaine doesn't work, but she works from home. She sets up her lives typically around 2 and 2:30. So for me, for all those people that want to say stupid shit, it's like grow the fuck up, first of all, okay? But secondly, it's I work, and so every 4 weeks into my fifth and sixth week, I work from 6 to 2. And so when I get home, the only time I even feel like doing a live is during typically those times, because besides my Friday and Saturday off, right? So for instance, when I got home the other day, I had no idea. I came home, face planted the bed because I was so darn tired. And I had just already assumed that Charmaine did a live. I do not usually look to see. Sometimes I'll look. I'll say one out of maybe 10 times I'll look, right? But I usually know that Charmaine does a live around 2 or 2:30 or something like that, for there. So for me, when I get home, either I'm gonna go to bed and I'm not gonna do a live at all, or I'm going to do it when I get home while I'm still awake and not tired, like tired, but awake enough to do our live. So I just want to say that, like, we're not here to fight over our times. I expect Charmaine to do her lives whenever she wants to. Just like I would expect that when I have the time to do my lives, that it is no diss on Charmaine. And I know that we don't even look at it that way, right? It's not, there's nothing that's ever done out of malice towards each other. So I just wanted to quickly touch on that, okay? Me and Charmaine are good friends, right? But for people to have to literally like go and say stuff like that, like throwing shade, like as if I'm throwing shade at Charmaine and stuff, it's just a joke, okay? Like we don't play those kitty games and stuff like that. We're both two passionate people that care about the case, and we do things as we do things and when we're able to. Right, Charmaine? Right, Sunny?
Yeah, and I mean, I explain it every single time, and I think, Sunny, honestly, it comes from a good place with the people who think or worry about that, because it has happened with another channel before where it was very purposeful and it was every
Right.
single day for a couple of
But
months.
that's
I mean, it
different.
happened, but it
But
is
that's
what it is.
different.
And I say every time, like Sunny doesn't have time to worry about what Charmaine's doing, and for me on replay, I don't care. And if
Me neither.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean, so
Yeah.
it's not like
Hers
that.
is different though. Because there's no love lost there, you know, in a sense. So I can understand if people are feeling that way, if somebody's sitting there putting their lives every time you do a live type of thing. That's not what happens in this case. And we're friends, you know. But
I
I'm
told
just saying.
everybody yesterday the friendship started years ago,
Yeah.
and it'll go on years after Jack and Lily's
It's just
case is resolved.
it's just a matter to say between me and Charmaine. Don't try to stir a pot. The pot's not going to get stirred. The only time a
Mhm.
pot might get stirred is if me and Charmaine cause it ourselves. That's it.
That's
That's
right. That's right. But
it.
we'll usually talk it out. So
Yeah, there's a couple times, where, like, again, we're not here to think the same and be twinsies that way. We're just here to be friends, cover a case, and that's pretty much
yeah,
about it. That's it.
and Lord knows, Sonny and I, we don't agree on
On
a
certain
lot of
things, yeah.
things on this
That's why I was
case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I
So
was trying to be protective of what I was saying the other night, because I am not you when it comes to letting people slide and just letting them talk and talk type of thing. Like, usually when I'm done with a person, I'm just done. I'm just over it type of thing. I don't have the ability too much to sit there. Like with Daniel that particular time, honestly, after he was on your lives, I was like, you know what, dude, everything in me said, yeah, fucking right. And then I was like, you know what? Whatever. If people want to hear Daniel talk, and I have the ability to perhaps ask him some questions, even though I wasn't prepared for it, either. But it was just like 9 hours later, you know. And the bottom line is, I just don't have that ability myself. Charmaine's more easier going that way, or however you want to say it. I was trying to be protective of my words because I didn't want to include Charmaine with how I deal with people. So whether
and I don't really, maybe I'm more lenient and patient, but it's all for a
or
purpose.
fair, however you
But
want to say it.
I'm not I'm not a fool. Everything is by design and it's for a reason. And
Yes.
people that say, I wasn't asking the right questions or I wasn't following up, look at how many people were able to continue the conversation. And even still to this day, we still have questions and clarifications. And I'm still finding things that I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It all helps. It all
You
helps.
know,
And I choose
yeah,
to do things my way because I want the
absolutely.
opportunity to follow up down the road. Whereas if you're an asshole, you're not going to get that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
or at least I wouldn't. I wouldn't want to talk to somebody that treats me like shit. It, and we've seen that in real time. I've shut out a
Yeah.
few people that I just don't have time for anymore.
Yeah. We're our own people. Like, yeah, Charmaine, like, same with Melissa, you know, been on the channel for a long time, Charmaine, which I would expect because it's not like I was unexpected that she would veer off. Because, you know, when you're doing the channel yourself, you can you do things whatever which way you want to do, you know, not say Sunny's way, but it's no different than, like I said, Melissa, you know, it's like for me, you want people to cover the case or to go off on their own and still be friends together. So it's not like I said like there was all this animosity or anything like that. Charmaine already had a podcast, and it was just a matter of time, you know, when she would want to do things like her own, and yet still come back here whenever, or me go over to her channel or whatever, only because Melissa doesn't host as many. You know, and then yeah, and still remain friends even when I came back the first time after 2.5 months. I didn't care to do up a thumbnail or not, you know, and stream it to the channel and stuff like that. I just wanted to sit on a live for the 1 year anniversary for Jack and Lilly, and you know, that's all I wanted to do was just talk about it. Didn't need to send the feed over here. Could have, but I didn't, you know. But it's because that stuff's not important to me that way. It was just about the 1 year. And then obviously it was good, Charmaine, because it made me come back, you know, because I didn't know how long I was going to be off. But the 1 year was definitely a nice little kicker back in the butt to go, you know, hey, I still want to talk. Well, obviously I knew I still want to talk about it, but I just didn't know when I felt like coming back in a sense. You know?
Yeah, but I also think that, and I have said this before too, that when you spend, like you've been building your channel for
6
years,
years, barely.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with admitting that you're trying to grow your channel. That doesn't mean that you're greedy. That doesn't mean that you're exploiting anything. It means that you've been working at this for 6 years and no different than me. Yeah, I want people to watch me. I don't hate when I have like 40 people watching. When I was with
Right.
Sunny in at Delphi and she used to have like 3, 4, 500 people, camera would be off like immediately. As soon as that number went up above 100, I was like, fuck that. No, don't want
And
that.
you see,
But
I never even think about that. Yeah. And to be
yeah,
honest with you, I really suck at trying to grow my channel. I don't sit there and I
mhm,
used to do a few things, like meaning I could be so much more. Yes, okay. The whole point for me is the more people that watch your channel, the more you can push it out there into the algorithm and all that stuff. But I gotta tell you, I got lazy ass syndrome when it comes to doing this vertical thing and putting it to TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. Or I basically do the same thing all the time. I tell myself I should be more proactive, but honestly, it's just like, yeah, when you come home from work and shit like that or whatever, I could have done it so many times. I can't handle all that techno, like all those different platforms and stuff like that. So I just basically, when I do the live here, it goes to the Facebook. It's Crime and Shame. It goes to the Suzanne Morphew one, and it goes to Twitter. You know, it's kind of like I make my little round. At one day, I'll gear myself up, maybe closer to retirement. I don't know, but it's
yeah,
the means the most is that the more people see it, the more a story can go out there. You know.
yeah, yep. Yeah, and that's what it's all about. But again, like
Yeah.
I had my own reasons for doing the podcast with my daughter, you know,
Yeah.
and
How's she doing, by the way?
good,
You guys doing
good.
any? Have you guys done any podcasts in a while?
No, she does want to start recording again, and
Has she?
she might start joining me a little more regularly on
Jack
the
and Lily?
YouTube. Yeah,
Yeah. Like for just
yeah.
like for Jack and Lily's case specifically, or just any cases really?
Just any cases, she'll probably bring her own more of a, you
Yeah.
know, more of a like a live podcast recording type thing we'll do as like aside from Jack and Lily or whatever case that we're
Yeah.
covering at the time, just to get her into it. She's still not going to be comfortable in front of the camera, but I think it'd
Yeah.
be really great. I'm hoping. She's got such a quick wit about her. She's so funny.
Yeah.
And she's a journalist, so she knows all the little secrets that I don't know. I have to text her and ask her certain things once in a while. Um,
Mm,
so I hope
yeah.
so.
Oh yeah. You know what? I wish that my husband was into true crime with me. I would love to do, always, a podcast with him or the channel with him. But he just doesn't give a shit. Like he'll listen to me when I'm talking about a case, but lately, it's mostly when he comes in the bedroom, he's just like, "Oh, you're listening to that shit again," because I'm always got some sort of true crime thing on, and he just thinks that it's like deep and dark shit type of idea, and I was like, you just shut up and game over there, all right? But in my heart I wish that that he was into true crime as well, but that's just not his thing. Like
Yeah,
he like
last night, like when Ian likes
what
to
about Ian?
walk around here, the chatters, they seem to enjoy him, whatever. But he was sitting in the chair over here last night, and chat was asking him some questions, and he was answering. And then
Oh,
today I
nice.
said, they just want you to come up and answer some questions. And he said, well, I don't know anything. And I said, well, they want your opinion. It's the
Hmm.
opinions that people are want because it
Yeah,
it brings up conversation. It's a different point of view, and it's important. And so I think he might be
maybe.
willing
Go
one
ahead.
day in the
Yes.
future.
How
Yes.
about this, Charmaine? How about we plan for me and my husband, you and Ian, and to do it together? Would you
That'd be
consider doing that?
fantastic because I
Yeah.
can I can set up a
And
second
I
computer next
yeah,
door, and we have
yeah,
like the four of us
yeah. Because
do
my
a mega
husband
panel.
too. Yeah, and because it was like, so he doesn't follow true crime, but I talked to him about it, and it's like, if I'm saying something, like it's no different than the Suzanne Morphew case. When I played that video, I literally like said, poked him so hard, and I was like, husband, listen to this. And I said, what do you think? Right? Just as a regular person, what do you think when you listen to, say, Malaya's interview or Daniel's interview or this or Barry, and that's all I'm really looking for is just another opinion when somebody watches something. It's like, right? If you ask somebody to watch something right now for another case, and then you're just going to ask them, well, what do you think? That's it. Like, what do you think
It's
by
a
watching that?
completely new, unbiased opinion, and it's so
Right.
important. I gotta go let Harley in. Give me 2 minutes. I'll be
Oh,
back.
okay. Okay. Actually, we're gonna pause for 1 second. Sunny's gonna vape her face off right now. Okay. What do I say? That this video is sponsored by Sunny and her vape. So just be right back. Seriously, a few puffs, and I'll be back. That doesn't look like a smoke. Really dead air. Huh? Hey, Bev.
Sorry. Like I opened the door. He was barking. I opened the door. Then he took off running again.
Yeah.
So I got the door open. So I'm gonna stay muted.
Have you talked to Bev in a long time or at all?
No.
No. I mean, I miss
Um.
her when she was covering this case. She got such good insight and brains, and then she got her other job or like her promotion thing and stuff like that. Pretty sure that's the same Bev. Pretty sure it is actually.
This one here. This
Yeah.
this Bev.
Isn't it?
I don't think that's the same
Oh,
one.
is that not the same Bev? I always assumed it was.
I don't think so.
Oh,
No, it's not. This Bev, I believe, is from
Oh, I always thought you were, and I was so truthfully, I was like, "How come you never come in my chat and always Charmaine's all the time? What happened to you?"
Deb, are you
Like,
from BC? I think she's from BC.
okay, oh, okay, so I had you wrong because her channel was like similar, so I always thought it was that Bev. My bad, my bad. I take all my nasty thoughts back now because I was like thinking that I was like I never heard back from her. It's kind of like
Oh,
but I loved having, she's a lawyer from England there. And she was like a child
yeah.
lawyer or
She
whatever it was.
specialized in child
Her chi-
protective
yeah,
litigation,
her
and
insight was huge. I
oh,
loved
it
it.
was priceless. But I think that like her role and being on YouTube could definitely cause a problem. So
Look
I
at
hope
Ben.
she's doing well in her role. Those people are so important.
Thanks, Ben. Ben's more up to date than I am. I mean, I know she got her promotion and she was, but I'm always really bad with legal names or the stuff and what her promotion was again. Prosecutor, I think it went to Crown Prosecutor, I think it was. But anyways, yeah. But boo, Sonny, I am here. Mary Melbourne, Aussie. So see now for a second there, she had me thinking that was Beth on there. But anyways, can you share your thoughts on Cheryl and Malaya's? Oh, okay. Do you do you want me to like share that post that somebody had said earlier that there was this post um that somebody put up on Facebook? Somebody said that earlier in chat and I was like, but now I know, I guess, which one. Should we or no? Or just talk about
Uh,
it?
we we could. I mean,
Well,
I
you know
have
what?
thoughts that I'm not. I don't know that I'll be 100% sure to share. Like I go ahead, go ahead.
I mean, okay. Um, gotta find it. Are you sure? Because I won't. If like it's not exactly.
Well, that Facebook post is a little over the top, but the topic itself, Gren, do it. Oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Just
Yeah,
thinking.
I mean, yeah.
You know.
Maybe just show the picture of
Okay.
the garden and maybe see.
Yeah. Because yeah.
Um, so Joe Neal, go wait in the bus.
The special bus.
The special bus, the short bus, no air conditioning, windows rolled down. Or sorry, windows rolled up. Go on, get out. But yeah,
One
I would
second.
just show the picture of the garden and
Okay.
see where the conversation goes. I don't know.
Yeah. Just gotta. Well, there's part of me that's just going. This is just feeding into drama shit. But we'll just show, I guess. Uh, just I don't know. I don't know how.
I mean, the whole thing is just so. Uh,
Okay. Uh, share screen. No, not share screen.
I don't
Share
know that you
image.
know this one, Ori, because this is.
A.
Oh, oh. I don't know.
So okay. Now this isn't the best pick, okay, but it's it kind of enhances in size because it was smaller or whatever. So apparently this is in Cheryl Christine's backyard. And it's a bench that says Lily and Jack. And I, anyways,
Um,
what is, does it has just, if chat, I guess Shenanigans showed it on her live and that Cheryl Christine said it was in her backyard or whatever. So, but
well,
the posting that goes with this, you know, isn't, I mean, it's just basically, I mean, a post, not to say,
I
what
mean,
do I
I
say
just
about that
can't.
post? You know what? You guys can go find it yourself and read it.
Oh my gosh. Like I don't.
It's got a
Okay,
big
so
sunflower. I mean,
it's a beautiful
it's
little
got a big
garden, and
sunflower.
like it bothered. Hmm.
I think
It
that's what.
bothered me for a number of reasons. I know that there was some serious disrespectful shade thrown at me
Hold
for
on.
building a bench and sending it to Nova
Yeah.
Scotia.
1 second. Hey, crazy cat, go fuck yourself, okay? Then if you don't want to, I love watching stream, you just can't with you, Sunny. Go fuck yourself. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a big ass. Well, I can't block you. You're lucky.
Who?
Crazy cat magnet. Just meaning, be nice, or don't say anything at all. Cause crazy, this person.
Crazy cat. I don't
Just
remember seeing
be
that
nice.
person in my chat, but be nice.
That's all
Be
you have to
nice. Be
do. Just be
respectful.
nice. You don't need to open up your big lips and say that. Okay, if you don't like watching me, who cares? But you don't need to say shit like that. But you're lucky you're getting away with it because you're in Charmaine's chat. That's all I'm gonna say. Because you know I'd boot your ass. All right. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, like I said, it was, my bench was a waste and throwing shade at me for
Yeah.
building and setting the bench. And then meanwhile, they were probably at that moment working on this one. Ori says, I think people are making a shit show out of something they did out of love. But another comment that was
Absolutely.
made in the chat, and I just saw screenshots, you guys, before we came on. But you know, if the pictures weren't supplied to Shenanigans, the public never would have known about this because they weren't looking for recognition for doing this. But and that's fine if it's a memorial or whatever it is and it's private, that's fine, and it's it's for you and on you to do that. However, this I think would create conversation and keep Jack and Lily's names out there. If But if it was a personal private reason, then no use in sending it to Shenanigans either. I don't know. Just it's kind of a talking out of both sides of your mouth there. To me, I don't know.
I just
What do you
can't
think?
believe that someone would try to disrespect your bench. I didn't even know
They
that.
were reaching. They didn't have anything. It was when they were, you know,
Uh, I just
whatever.
still, but still,
No, I
right?
know. Exactly. I was like, well, that was really, that was classy. What a waste of time that was for Ian to spend his talent and Sky Painter for using her resources, and what a
Yeah.
waste of fucking time that is. I'm sorry I can't be boots on the ground. I did this. But they turned it into something negative, and Damien did apologize to me after the fact. But like
Okay.
I said, it's clear to me now that they were busy building their own little bench. So this triggered me a little bit for a bunch of reasons, but that was one of them, you know.
Well, I just can't like I just think that that's pretty low to literally disrespect stuff that people do with their hearts for Jack and Lily and to make a comment even towards that. I didn't know that until today, to be honest with you. That was even said about the bench. Shame on anyone that sits there and tries to take away the beautiful things that people try to do for Jack and Lily. I mean, I've shown multitude of videos of all the work that people have done and put them into a video tribute for Jack and Lily. But yeah, you know, that can be a whole cup of go fuck themselves for whoever they were saying that and stuff like that. That's ignorant, taken away from that, taken away from people's beautiful hearts, you know. So yeah, I get it that a lot of people, it has are saying that it looks like say a grave type of idea. Um, I like the big sunflower definitely in the middle there, sunny sunflower on there. But at the end of the day, again, for me, it's another piece of something that for Jack and Lily.
And if it gives them a place to go and,
House maybe.
reflect and have quiet time and, you know, I mean, maybe it means something to them and it private, personal space to go, that's fine. But now you've shared it with a YouTuber. I know you don't want recognition for it, but now you have it. So good job. Nice garden. Nice bench.
Hmm.
Good
Long
work.
road. If that's Christine's backyard.
It's actually like somebody, and I'm telling you, people were on top of this. As soon as Shenanigans put it on live, people were researching. And apparently, there's a trailer park community thing. This is like in the grounds there from what the satellite or the Google Maps or whatever looks like. This is on a kind of a, a, a
Apparently
causeway,
this bench
or I can't remember what they're called, but just a,
apparently this Oh, okay.
it's
Chai says this bench is
pretty.
more meaningful than
Yeah.
anything else. Whose eyes? Their mom has made this for them. So y'all want to tear people apart and be all dramatic and stuff? Why? What the fuck actually acts like this over a grieving mother? She ain't no fucking grieving mother in my eyes. But anything that's done for Jack and Lily, I'll appreciate. But I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, this is the most beautiful bench ever because it was made by a mother that can't bring her fucking sorry ass out to sit there and advocate for her kids. Like, it's a beautiful little space for Jack and Lily. That's about it. But that's the thing, Shy, is that that's your opinion, but everyone's entitled to their own, right? It might be the most beautiful bench that you think it is, and that's perfectly fair, right? I I think that anything that people are doing for Jack and Lily when it comes to um, these beautiful pens, these beautiful stickers, the bench that Charmaine and Ian made, I wouldn't take away from anyone's.
Keychains.
Oh yeah, I got my keychains, my thing. Oh wait, right, my Jack and Lily mug with the sticker.
Hmm.
Yep, the keychains. Look at all these.
Bracelets.
Yeah,
Deco.
but somehow I guess that one's better. Well, most people don't feel that way. That one somehow is better. It's just like I said. It's anyone that's doing anything for Jack and Lily, even if it is, say, Malay or whatever. I mean, it's not like it shouldn't be done. It's two missing children. You know, that's how I feel anyway. Yeah. Whoops. The dinosaur just fell.
What is this? Shenanigans Campground and Trailer Park? What do you mean? What?
Oh, I think did someone make a comment like this was like was that what it like supposed to be a funny like basically saying trailer park or
Oh,
something? I don't
oh,
know.
I don't know.
Oh no. Stop. This must be on your chat, Yaxa. Stop the lies. Is Malaya living with Cheryl? The kid stuff was there forever and a bench for Malaya.
No, that's not my channel.
Yeah, it's your
Oh,
channel.
yeah, it is.
Oh,
Is
because the
Malaya?
paperclip. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I have no idea where Malaya is living because Malaya doesn't talk, and Cheryl also doesn't talk unless she's in a chat with Shenanigans.
Well, this
The
this
kid stuff was there forever and a bench for Malaya. That's good. That's nice. Excellent.
Yeah, it's just whatever to the preachers. Again, I'm not here for Malaya or Daniel. Don't give two flying fucks about what they're doing in their lives per se. I mean, obviously, we already have spent over a year watching the mother hide pretty much, and now she wants to pipe up. I don't give a fuck. I care about Jack and Lily. You know, if this one right here, something another thing for Jack and Lily, right? So be it. Little garden with a sunflower in it type of thing, little bench. But to sit there and say that that's whatever, that just, like I said, I'm not here to kiss Malaya's ass or anybody's ass. This is about Jack and Lily first and foremost. So it's just another something that was made, say, in honor of Jack and Lily. Simple as that.
And
So
to put it out to the public, I think, is
let's go
the
back
right
to
thing
that.
to do because that shows that you have something, that you have done something. And the idea behind it is probably a beautiful thing. And it's probably a healing thing for those who,
Mm-hmm.
need it. And if that was the purpose of it, then why turn it into something so, I don't know, secretive? And I don't like, I get it, but now, and I said it right away as soon as I started seeing screenshots. I'm like, oh my gosh, there are going to be some crazy lunatics out there who think that's where the kids are, and and I didn't start that rumor. It was sent to me by 3 different people, and this has only been out for a couple of hours, so it's
Mm.
craziness, craziness.
Well, and just going back to Shy, the thing is that people are allowed to have their opinions, just like you're allowed to have yours. And yes, we all know that there's negativity with this case. There's negativity, in things that I've said and stuff like that, and other channels have said, and including where that picture come from. Doesn't matter. There's been a lot of talk because obviously, right, 2 children are missing, and the freaking weirdness of this case. But bottom line is, everyone is entitled to still have their own thoughts. If people want to say that it looks like a gravesite and stuff like that, I'm not going to boot them because that's what they're feeling about it. I personally just look at it like another piece of a picture of somebody doing something for Jack and Lily, regardless. But that's how I see it, in my own opinion. So, meaning you can only control your own opinions, your thoughts, and your actions. That's it. Nobody else's, right? So if you feel that way, that's fair. M and D make me nauseous. Open your mouth and tell the truth. Well, let's go back to that. So we obviously don't have the answers of what happened to Jack and Lily. I mean, I would be a monkey's uncle if everything Daniel said was mostly accurate, you know. Um, but we don't know truly what happened to them. So it's kind of like speculation, but obviously, no matter what, they're going to be looking right at the family. That is where the RCMP look right away, is at the family. Is it what original that people are talking about the family members in any of these cases? Absolutely not. Whenever 2 children go missing and stuff like that, I have my feelings about the case, but that doesn't mean I'm right. You know, I'm always willing to look at something if something is going to show different. But right now, we don't know. And that's why Kent has his opinion about why they're, say, alive somewhere, because there's nothing to show either way. And we don't know. I just like to stick with with basically what we've witnessed, what we're seeing, the statistics of this case, and what seems like it's in line with Occam's razor, but add the weirdness of Malaya and Daniel, and the whole actions of this weird stuff. It's shady as shit watching it. When you're looking at it, we don't know these people. We're not best friends with these people. But what if this was another case, right? That say it wasn't Jack and Lily, but another case. everyone would be thinking the same thing pretty much. You'd have your people that are, say, thinking that they're alive still. But at this point, it's been almost 14 months, Charmaine. 12 days shy. 14 months. I'll be traveling on that particular day, so I won't be doing no live. But 14 months is coming up. That's crazy, isn't it? 14 months.
It's insane. It's
Joe, go to the naughty
absolutely
corner
insane.
on there.
How did he get back in here? Get to the
Okay.
bus. Um,
We care about
there's some.
Jack. That's just it. Like I said, I didn't. No one said no one forced Malaya to leave the property and not speak up and stuff like that. I don't want to hear that a mother is not wanting to come forth and put somebody's own self in front of two children. That's all I keep seeing. Now, Daniel, he's doing his own strange things, of inconsistencies and stuff that you wouldn't normally see in a case. I've never seen a case where a stepfather comes forward this much in the case of two missing children to tell us how proactive he is, all the time. It's just not normal. It's not even natural in cases to witness a stepfather spending so much time online on lives or but mostly Facebook or talking like this. You know, very few I can besides Summer Wells and Dawn Wells and Candace and whatever. It's not normal. So why? Now Daniel will tell you, well, it's because I'm fighting for Jack and Lily to the end of the earth and my last breath type of thing. You know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't take away the oddness of it all or the inconsistencies. And that's what we have to go by. That doesn't mean that we know the answers to exactly what happened, but we can definitely still have our thoughts.
Well, exactly. That's that's the only way to um, keep talking about the case is by sharing our all different opinions and accepting other people's opinions as a topic for conversation for the most part. Like
For the most part.
there are some opinions that are just completely, no offense, they are completely out to lunch, and some of them I just can't with, but most I can discuss. Um, and that does not equate to putting up false information. That's looking at everything from everybody's different perspectives. And wasn't that we were talking about wanting to get Steve and Ian up? They're not into true crime, and maybe they don't follow this case, and maybe they don't. Men are like, they hear like every second word we say, and only one half of that they retain it, so they don't know anything. So hearing a different perspective is always helpful, if for no other purpose than to keep the conversation going. So, and I
Well,
mean, I can't respect anybody who gets attacked for sharing an opinion. Um, yeah.
well, that's just it, right? I mean, most of the information that we always try to put up is either say something, things that obviously we know that Daniel has done the most for when it comes to putting himself out there. You know, that's a fact. Whether or not people believe him or we believe him or not, that's a whole different, ball of wax in a sense. But he definitely has kept um like he has definitely provided a lot of things to talk about. And there's three people on the property that day. That's it. There's no answers. Who else are we really going to talk about? Besides when maybe other family members speak up. But the thing that I know that I show and Charmaine shows is, like I said, that most of it's the things that are out there by themselves, right? Whether it's Janie's interview, whether it's Daniel's interviews, and stuff like that. Maybe it's stuff that Belinda had sent that between Malaya and her conversations and stuff like that. That's the stuff that I like to stick with because at the end of the day, again, there's three people on the property. What are we going to talk about, right? The neighbor that lives 20 miles away that might have had a camera, you know, maybe the police would be talking to someone like that. But obviously, when there's two children missing and no answers, and you're watching this bullshit go on, duh, right? Of course, you're going to talk about it. But like I said, you're just trying to basically show their own words, or like Taylor's words, right? She was with Daniel. Oh yeah, you're gonna talk about the pool?
You're going to talk about the what?
The pool in that picture?
No, somebody just sent me this post.
Yeah, because it's about the pool. Right, Ian? It's about the pool. No,
Well,
no.
apparently this is a black guy. I don't know. Is it?
Oh, I see. Uh, Beside, because yeah, I mean that whole picture was about the pool when it was going around recently. Um, I mean, I don't know. I really, when it comes to bruising and stuff, I really hate to be too speculative on that, even with, people remember with Malaya's picture, because shadowing, it's, things like I remember when somebody said that Lily had a bruise on her leg, but yet to me, it was the wrapping paper and the shadow casting a light, on there. So it's kind of like her one eye is more in the shadows and the other one's more in the light because of the
Hmm.
way she's facing. But
Yeah.
yet her other eye, if it was probably in the shade more so, it kind of seems to have that same look. I don't know. You'd have to zoom in on that more, but I don't really like being too speculative on when it comes to bruises, and people did that with Sebastian Rogers' case.
Hmm. Yeah. I gotta warm his stuff up, so I'll be right back.
Wait, Ian, you can't warm it up yourself, dude? Huh? Charmaine, charge
Probably
him.
could,
Dang.
but he'll ruin it. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No problem. I'll just come down to your guys's. We'll put Jack and Lily back up there. Add to stage. There we go. Some of the photos I've seen show the children happy, laughing, smile. What a shame. Well, I'll tell you, most people are not going to put up when they're in a bad mood type of photos. It reminds me of the Chris Watts case, right? Obviously, Shanann, I think her name was it Shannon or Shanann, um, was always posting up pictures of like as if her life was wonderful, right? And that's how most people do, you know. Some people, like I said, on their face sparks, right? They're going to put up 100 pictures, or they're going to take 100 pictures and put up the one that, of course, like looks the best of themselves and stuff like that. So, when it comes to Facebook stuff or pictures, right? You're mostly not going to show your kid in a bad light, or your kids in a bad light when they're moody and have that type of look on their face. Most people's Facebooks will always have you like you're smiling and happy and your life is going good. Haha. My puppy is in the toilet paper. I'll never forget that day that when I was working at Eaton's in Calgary, and this old lady, she literally, I was just thinking about this the other day. She literally, when I come out of the bathroom, she was almost at the end of the hall, and she had this string of her skirt was tucked in her pantyhose, and there was a trail of toilet paper that literally was about 20 feet long following behind her. Of course, I could not let that go on. I mean, seriously, but I'll never forget that. I've never seen where this huge toilet paper roll. Fella. Anyways, one of those memories, or the toilet paper from the COVID days. Everyone acting like it's freaking gold, and just horting it all up. And I remember making a mug with my uh, what's it called? I always forget the name of it. It's like a silhouette. Is it? I think actually it is a silhouette. Silhouette, yeah. But anyways, I remember making this little funny thing with the toilet paper and having a toilet paper roll on it. Oh, welcome. So is Ian happy?
He is eating and he has beer
Oh, and
and he
he's
has
happy.
his dog right beside him, so he is just fine.
Is Harley being a little sucky? Wait, is Harley
Yes.
his or yours? Harley's his, right?
Yeah. No,
Technically.
he's mine. He's mine.
Okay. Harley's yours. Okay, so what do you mean? You have another dog?
I no, I chose Harley. I found
Oh,
him.
together when you were with Ian?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
But he's mine when he's behaving. When he's an asshole, he's Ian's.
yeah. No, there's no news about Jack and Lily. It's the same old. The case in our eyes has not progressed from what we know, but it's not to say it hasn't. You know. Hmm. If it wasn't for Sunny and Char, a few others, this case could go cold. Yeah, and Justin, um, clutch some pearls and stuff like that. You know how? See, Dolly, I'm gonna call you out there because you said you were gonna cover the case until it was solved, but you haven't covered shit about Jack and Lily for a long time now at all. So you eat your words on that one, Dolly. They're too busy covering Nancy Guthrie and all that stuff all the time.
It
Mhm.
is challenging though to do these live streams when there's nothing new, right?
It
So
is. It
like
is.
when I did the poll yesterday and everybody who
The
voted,
monsters of
they're all
chaos.
into starting over again.
Mm.
Um, going back through everything that we've already heard. But I mean, what can you do? At some point, that's all we can do
Yeah.
because Ian and Steve won't talk about their opinions. So
Yeah. Monster of Chaos video. Um, I seen that today. Made me laugh. I mean, honestly, when it comes to this case, and whatever, right? Sometimes just a good laugh is needed on there. I don't care.
yes, I do
It gave me a
appreciate
giggle.
Monsters of Chaos coverage because I don't. There's not a whole lot that I can watch. I don't have a lot of time, and they condense the important stuff for me.
Yeah,
You know.
I, I feel I feel like there was one important piece though that was missed from that video. It's when I said that I didn't give a fuck about Malaya or Daniel and any freaking personal issues they're going with. All I give a fuck is about Jack and Lily. That's it. Like that's it, right? Oh, besides Belinda, of course, and Chelsea. When it comes to like the family, right? Um, Haley's always been, like I said, she doesn't speak up no more because she just really you get tired of being attacked and stuff like that. But Haley is not one of those three people that are on the property either. But so I can understand it and stuff like that. So I'll just let her do her thing. And if she does want to reach out and talk more or anything, then so I'll let her if she wants to, but I'm not going to bug her anymore and stuff like that. If that's kind of how she feels like she said what she needed to say. And if at any point, there's something else that she wants to say, but other than that, um, you know, uh, for me, Haley, has always been, I like to me, no part of anything to do with the disappearance of Jack and Lily. All I've ever seen is somebody that's basically pissed off because of having, uh, her own children or what. I can't remember if she has one or two. But, anyways, I think it's just one
Yeah.
though. But, anyways, you know what I mean? All I've ever seen is someone that's been upset, just wanting answers and feeling the frustrations, of the case. And obviously, when it comes to family members and shit like that, and, becomes a lot you're trying to do your job, trying to just do life without, being involved in two missing children, that's her family's all involved in and Daniel's family's all involved in, you know, a lot of them never expected to be put in this situation, but neither did Belinda. And for the people, like I said, that have nothing to do with it, that just want answers for Jack and Lily, my heart goes out to all you guys, you know, because we're not
Sunny,
family.
what
Sure.
first of all, Thank you, Helicopter Grandma. If you got that membership, please make sure you say thank you. And Ori, no, they're not affiliated at all. But Sunny,
Yeah.
the dollar store surveillance, like the CCTV video,
Mm.
I think because we talked a little bit on my stream yesterday about how the kids wore the same clothes that they were wearing. They wore them to bed and assumed that that's what they were wearing when they disappeared, because I assume they weren't, they didn't find those dirty clothes that they had on. But we still don't have concrete information of what they were wearing. So usually when you have a missing child or missing kids and they want the public looking for them, one of the most important things is what they were last seen wearing. And if you happen to have a video of them wearing those clothes, even a still shot from that video would usually become public.
You would think.
So, like, what are your thoughts on the fact that we're not even getting that? And Daniel's not even allowed to see that CCTV video.
Well, Daniel told, remember, there's a screenshot that I showed the other day where Daniel said that the clothes that we think the children were wearing are not the clothes. And then he said he couldn't say because it was part of the investigation, and that was from months and months back that I brought that screenshot up again. I plunked it into AI because Badette had asked this the other day. And basically, it was to do with a few things of possibly why. And most of it is because obviously, if, say, somebody had important information, right, that they knew the answer to that about, say, the clothing, that then they would know that that would be a solid tip. And another thing was basically, well, what was the other one? That was the main one. What was the other one? Well, obviously they would get a shitload of, what was it? I wish I had it open still. There was kind of like three things that they touched on, but out of it all, Charmaine, the main thing was because if someone came forward to talk about that, because normally we would see a picture, normally we would see the footage. Even with Sebastian Rogers, we saw a picture of what he was
And
last
then,
wearing.
yeah, well, and then even further that we got surveillance video from the restaurant that he was
Right.
with his mother at.
Yeah, that came out.
Information started coming out, but
Yeah.
nothing in Jack and Lily's case. And it just makes me further believe that they don't think that Jack and Lily are truly missing. Like, you know,
Yeah, same. There's a lot of things that make me feel like that they don't believe, like they're just missing. Um but yeah, so why is it in every case typically there's always the picture that's put out, because you would think that, right? Like, if anyone has information with this, but it does make sense to me. Obviously, if someone does have important information and they and that it would be like a more solid tip, more of a believable tip, if they could say, "Hey, yeah, I saw this child or whatever, he was wearing brown, but we didn't actually know exactly for sure what Jack and Lily were wearing, but to say that person did." So that does make sense to me. That was just, again, a possible reason, because it doesn't make sense otherwise about why we wouldn't have seen a picture where it's very normal to see video footage, but at least a picture of what the two children were missing. If they're missing, you're going to obviously want to say what they're wearing, you know? So that's all I
and if
can
they
say
have it
about
on
that.
video, so that make like, and because Daniel's being so weird about it, um,
Hmm.
it makes it makes me wonder, like, did they actually end up finding those clothes in the dirty laundry? Which was another thing we brought up yesterday too. Like, how did all the laundry smell like cat piss if they'd
Yeah.
never been unpacked from the laundry bags? Like, what is
So
that?
where did that come from? Because I heard you say that on the live yesterday, your live yesterday. Where did that come from? that they smelled
Cheryl.
like this? On Was that on one of the interviews or just her saying it?
Um, well, there were screenshots of her saying it in a chat somewhere.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then I guess apparently Anita and Wade also said it. So, I mean, I don't know. And that's one thing that I asked when we were talking about it. Like, did anybody else hear this or am I crazy? Because then it's like, okay, well, why did the clothes all smell like piss when they opened the bags if nobody ever unloaded those laundry bags? And then everybody
Right.
said, well, maybe it was just extra clothes. And I thought, well, maybe, but the
But
fact that they couldn't put pajamas on because all their clothes was still packed up in the laundry bags,
well,
you
that's
know?
but that just goes with the inconsistencies of this because, I just remember Cheryl saying that there was like 5 or 6 bags of that came back, like that came over, I guess, that were dropped off, and one bag was full of Malaya stuff because the way it's like the way that Daniel and that's wording it is like as if it was all needed to be packed up again or something, and then you're like, but Malaya didn't put anything away, and you didn't notice that until after, and that's why you said you had all her clothes at first because you hadn't realized that these bags were full of, not her clothes and Jack and Lily's. So it comes across in 2 ways, like these children that they didn't get unpacked and they were wearing the same ass clothes for a couple of days. Um, but then by the same you look at it, that looks like someone throwing shit into the bags of garbage and putting it all into the bags, going like, here they go.
And then another part of that was somebody had said yesterday, the reason why it came up, I can't remember if they said it yesterday or the night before, but the reason why I brought it up yesterday was because they said, well, they heard that Daniel and Janie had washed all the clothes and bedding before they stuffed them in those bags. But if they smell like cat piss, like that couldn't be. Because I know it's hard to get the smell of cat pee out. I get it.
I got two
Get it.
cats. I get it.
But they would still smell clean and not just like pee. Really? I think. No?
They don't have okay, so the only person that has a cat is obviously Janie, but how would it I don't
It's
understand
an
how it would.
outdoor cat though. It's an outdoor cat.
Yeah, but the stuff that's in those bags is freaking indoor stuff. It's not like we're looking at all these toys. Like if you look, like when I was looking at those bags, I'm like, okay, so it's clothing mostly. I know that Cheryl, I think, had said that there was some toys, but that doesn't look like they were any of the outdoor necessarily toys, you know, because I was looking at those bags and it all mostly just seemed like it was a bunch of maybe comforter, you know, not sure. I just
Well, the
put
two
it in the.
bags at the back were.
I got the picture. I mean, unless
Do you have
maybe
it?
you're
I
gonna
was
put
just
that.
gonna pull it up too. But the two bags at the back look like they're filled with clothes, where the ones closer to the front filled with stuff and blankets. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the two
I
up on the left
One second. Let
of
me
the
bring it. Let me. One second. Let me just bring it in the other way, so I can more zoom in on it. Just one sec, Charmaine. Okay, so stop share screen window.
I mean, no offense, but I'm pretty sure Malaya and Cheryl know the difference between cat pee and pot smell, Ernestine. Just
I think so.
speculating there, but
Why isn't it opening up? Oh, this one here. Hold on. Let's see if I do that now. Share screen window. Why is that? This is why I hate when StreamYards fucks up. It's like I'm trying to bring it in where you can zoom in on it, and yet
I
it's
have
not.
to bring it in as a like sharing my screen as an
Yeah,
open photo.
yeah,
But
exactly.
yes, who
But
who
mine's
asked?
not.
What's up?
Sometimes
This
it
is
fucks up.
There's a backpack. You can see the pink with kind of the Barbie faces on it. That is a backpack right there. And we have a picture that Belinda posted of Lilly wearing this
Yeah.
backpack. But
Yeah.
and then there
I
was
can see a few toys here.
a picture of a Hello Kitty backpack in one of the pictures that Belinda posted, but nobody's ever seen a picture of Lily with this strawberry backpack, which to me is odd.
Oh,
It is odd.
one sec. Uh, Old Garden Gal gifted one. It's a crime and shame membership. Thank you, Old Garden Gal, for that. And one second, Charmaine here. YouTube Studio is always so far behind. On there. Oh, there it is. Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder got that, Old Garden Gal. Huh? Thank you for doing that. Let's see here. Scrolling. 2 secs, Charmaine. Scrolling. It's funny how freaking much you've really realized you're behind. 1 second. Holy shit! It must be your chat room that's over talking here or something. Oh, hold
This
on.
is very possible.
Oh,
If
sorry.
you
Go
want,
ahead. Put yours back up. What'd you say?
this is possible. If you want to, we can help you. If you have resources and experience, for sure.
Yeah,
Sonny and I even reached out to a documentary crew trying to get them in on it.
I know. Right. Didn't have enough time. Too busy. Shami, I need to go let Bambi out. Can you give me a sec? I'll zoom in on this picture though.
Yep.
1 second here. Where's the damn picture? Right here. Okay. What do you want? Do you want me to leave it here, kind of?
Pull it down a little bit so I can see the top two bags. Yeah. Thank you. That to me looks like laundry. And the rest of the stuff just looks like stuff. There's one bag that you can tell is full of sheets, bedding, that cherry blanket. It's all in there. Closer to the front, those bags look like they have toys and bags and stuff in it. Michelle James said that there were 2 batches of bags, 7 bags per, one in August and one in November. I didn't hear that. I was under the understanding that this was picked up by Major Crimes. I thought it was before November. Sorry, not. I would have to go back and look to see the date it was actually sent to me by Daniel, but I'm pretty sure it was before November. Just saying. You can only buy that backpack on Walmart Marketplace. Daniel said they bought it in person. Some of the clothes may have been from the laundry batch, then some from the closet and drawers. 2 things can be true at the same time. Absolutely. You are not wrong. What else?
Charmaine, I'm gonna go about 10 more minutes, and then my husband's made spaghetti and garlic. Was that okay? 'Cause it's been
Absolutely.
2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm sure
absolutely.
you want to chill with Ian over there. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Um,
With your hammer thing or whatever it was the other day.
with my bat.
Yeah. Bad out of hell.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking maybe RCMP won't release the camera at the store. Would be maybe it's not clear or something blurry or kids are too close. Maybe I don't know. And Little Black Bear asked earlier
Oh,
if
sorry.
we thought that we would ever see that that CCTV video. In my opinion, I don't think so. Not until there's a successful prosecution one day. If that ever happens, we might see it. But do you think, Sonny, that we'll ever get to see that CCTV video in the
Probably not.
public? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. Um, just because Canada's so different, for that stuff. Um, yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe one day if the case is solved and then they release things to the public after that, perhaps. I don't know. But yeah, I mean,
All right. I'm just looking at the chat and I'm like, if you want to wrap it up, we can wrap it up whenever you're ready.
a couple more minutes, and then yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, you know what? We're not, because I went to go let little Bambi bitch out there because she's meowing, and Bambi cat's the psycho one. But anyways, then all of a sudden I see husband bending down in the kitchen in the fridge there, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, oh, I thought I could smell something, but I wasn't sure. And then he's like making spaghetti, and I was like, oh, did you take out the garlic bread? And he's like, nope, making it myself. So I
Yum.
was like, I'm determined to have a warm dinner, because so many times I put my dinner off to the side when the husband brings it in and I don't eat it and it gets cold. And I'm like, no. And plus, I have to work at 6 a.m. anyway. So, one more week of 6 to 2s, then uh, Sunday through Wednesday of 8 to 4, finally. And then Thursday pack up and leave on the 2nd, or Wednesday pack up, leave on the Thursday. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's one.
I hear you, Harley. Knock it off.
Sorry.
Go see
This
Daddy.
makes me jump.
It's like, I always, when I hear that type of dog sound, that reminds me of when Belinda was talking about the dog in the trailer or whatever, right? Now, she never ever claimed to see it, just hear, like the sound. And she said it was like a deep sounding dog, not, like, arr.
Like 150 pounder. See, this is when he becomes Ian's dog. Ian, shut your dog up. Okay. So Summer's case, if 5 years, it's 5 years and nothing, but in that case, their inconsistencies are whoppers. For example, Don says he was at work, but it was not verified, and the TBI called to check. That is a huge red flag. But that's the point, though. You guys know that in the States. Any of the inconsistencies, like Major Crime said to me, they cannot take a million inconsistencies in front of a judge and get probable cause to violate somebody's privacy.
Yeah.
Major Crimes told me that. So, I mean, it's not the same thing. We have no idea what they've been able to verify or not verify, but all we know for sure that any of the inconsistencies has not been severe enough to bring any charges or anything more. Do you know what I'm saying, Maritzka? It's just it's a different thing.
The thing that was always strange to me, besides the whole thing with Summer Wells, was the fact that they came home, and that they were outside, like with Candace and her mom. What do they call her? Candace.
Yeah, Grandis.
You
They
know,
call her Grandis, Grandma Candy.
Grandis, yeah, and her mom, and then supposedly, of course, Summer goes into the home, and her brothers, I think, are playing whatever, watching TV or playing games on the TV, and then she
Yeah.
goes downstairs, and then somehow just vanishes. You know, with so that would portray that somebody was waiting inside the home up until, and then managed to get her out of there.
In like 2 minutes,
Yeah,
allegedly, right? Like, give me a
it,
break.
yeah, it's a crazy story. And no different than how I feel about this, is like the timeline and the window of opportunity, and the RCMP saying to Janie that they didn't believe her. This is what RCMP said to Daniel. It's just because it's no scent, all those things that that don't make sense to this small gap of a window, right? And again, it's their own timeline that they told, and that's the bottom line of it. So if like, what's the chances, like, with the narrative that Darren was trying to say, that Janie now didn't know if it was Malaya's voice, and now that this person, I guess, came on to their property, and the kids or some, give me a break. I'm so sorry, but give me a break. Okay. Like this shit did not happen in this small gap of a window. It just didn't. But it's just a fact of listening to Daniel's new theory and Darren's shit, type of thing. And it's just like, come on. I mean, there's a reason, why RCMP, are saying no abduction and stuff like that, and I get it that we haven't really had any closure from RCMP pretty well, besides them always doubling down on the no abduction. But just to think that someone came in a yard, not only that, but then they went in the front door or the back door, the front door, back door that has the jackets. And this jacket, Daniel says, goes missing, and as if somebody put it on because Jack could never reach it. But that's the same one that had the wrench, over top and stuff. It's just no, 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 no. I'm gonna stick with still logic. Occam's razor, right? Mm-hmm.
Usually.
Yeah.
Usually.
Anyway, yeah. Okay. Well, you guys, thank you guys for being here tonight. Charmaine, we'll quickly do this. Uh, just the facts. Member for 3 months. Enjoy your day. Ben gifted 5. It's crime and shame memberships. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, husband. He's my online husband. Don't forget. A crime and shame gifted 5. Charmaine's channel gifted 5 of those. Let's see here. Did I already pull yours up? Yep. Okay. I don't know why. Oh, I see. It was like, why is it looking blue? Baby monkey super sticker. Wait, hold on, baby monkey. Whoa, Charmaine. I got 20 more cents than you did. Look at that. There is bias by baby monkey.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'll split it. Yeah, well, with us, see ya. Less 30% from YouTube. Yeah, at least a good 8 cents. All right. And Sharon did a super sticker for $10. Pinky, who was even keeled, $6.99. $6.99 for you on there. Helicopter Grandma gifted one. Shar's True Crime Podcast. So whoever got that. And Old Gal, she was like, I ain't taking none of that shit, Helicopter Grandma. I'm going to do one for Sunny as well. And then got gifted that. So anyways, just always appreciation. If you haven't hit the like and the share, please do for us. So anyways, last comment, Charmaine, or...
Just justice for Lilly and Jack, and we'll keep in touch about Darius here next week. And I'll probably see everybody tomorrow night-ish, tomorrow afternoon-ish.
Yeah. Yeah. What is tomorrow?
Yep.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday fun day. Yeah.
Yep.
What time are you doing your stream at, Charmaine?
Time you off.
2.
I'll probably do mine around 2. Depending on what time
Nice.
Ian leaves. He's got to leave
Yeah.
tomorrow, so.
I always say, sometimes I say I'm not going to do it, and then I get home and I'm like, there's maybe something I thought about that I want to talk about, and so I can't even trust my own self if I'm going to do one or not. Wait, what time did you say? Depends what. Did you say depends? When
It
does Ian
depends on
leave?
what time Ian leaves, but I'll probably go 2 o'clock our time, 6 o'clock Nova Scotia-ish, 6 or
Yeah.
7.
Okay. Well, anyways,
We'll see.
always a pleasure. Is Melissa, she away at work now?
She is away at work, I believe, until this coming Thursday. I think she's back for a day or
Okay.
2.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, Jack and Lily prayers. Well, let's not show the bags. Let's show Jack and Lily before we head out of here. Thank you guys, though, for being here tonight. Have a great rest of your night. Oh, Father's Day's tomorrow.
All
Happy
right.
Happy Father's Day tomorrow. Is he Ian?
Yeah.
Yep. Ian, did you hear me? Hello?
Ian.
Expecting.
Ah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Happy Father's Day tomorrow, Ian. Happy Father's Day to anyone that's in here. Yeah.
Tomorrow's
Oh, there he
Father's
is.
Day.
I see him back there.
Oh, so.
Yeah.
She said Happy
Hey.
Father's Day.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Happy
Little
Thank you.
bitch sitting back there. Don't freaking make me come.
He's hard of hearing.
Oh,
Meh.
is all right. Anyways, you guys have a great night. Just gonna end the live. Thank you, Charmaine. Bye,
Okay, thanks,
Ian.
Sunny. Talk to you soon. Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
guys. All right. Yeah, actually, it's here. It's Father's Day. Yeah. All right. Oh, Belinda. Thank you so much, Honey, Charmaine, and everyone. I can watch the replay. I missed a lot. It's all good. It's all good. Thank you guys, though. Good night.